Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of biology. And of course today quickly we'll look at the concluding part of our topic, coordination and control. We're looking at chemical coordination in humans and plants. Okay, so do not forget that these tutorials, this episode, all of these videos are brought to you by the O3 Schools application. All right, we have the JAMB application for those preparing for JAMB. We have the WAEC application tailored and structured for those preparing for WAEC. We do not mix the two of them together because there are two different types of exams. All right, but our teachings covers both JAMB and WAEC and any O-level exam. You can use it for NECO, you can use it for GCE, all right, and any O-level exam whatsoever. All right, so please ensure you get the application. If you have made a decision that you do not want to write JAMB or WAEC again in your life, okay, please get that application. All right, get it and pass your exam at once. All right, if you have been writing before, this is your final bus stop. You give your testimony. Check our testimony section on our YouTube channel. You see how a lot of people's lives have been transformed. Okay, most of them is never about what they scored, but how they arrived at it, how their perception changed after following us. Okay, so please get the app. We'll talk about the app in a moment. Let us see a past question from the JAMB app. This is a 2017 question, number 38. It says here that which of the following describes the function of thyroid gland? A says it is the gland of emergency. B says it regulates the rate of metabolism. C says it controls the production of ACTH. D says it stimulates the liver to produce glycogen. This question and many more are what we are going to answer at the end of the class, because at O3 Schools, we believe that the problem is that you have not been properly taught. That if once you are properly taught, answering question will be the very least of a problem. So please ensure you get the application and follow us immediately, okay? The app has everything you need to succeed in your exam. All the past questions for all the subjects are on the application, so you don't need to go and buy past questions outside. Also, there's a classroom feature that has lecture notes structured according to the JAMB syllabus. So those of you are saying, I don't have textbook, which textbook should I read? Forget about all of those ones if you have the application, all right? All the lecture notes structured according to the recent JAMB syllabus are on the application for you to study, all right? And of course, on that same classroom, there's a study plan. You can create a study plan. What the study plan does is to create a timetable for you using your subject combinations, okay, that for JAMB or the WAEC application. It crashes all of those topics and create a timetable for you, all right, and schedules you on what to read every day. And for example, let's say you want to prepare for your JAMB exam in 6 months, or in 4 months, or in 2 months, or in 3 months, even though it's 1 month, okay, just that it will be more tedious the shorter the time is. It will crash all of them, crash all the topics for you so that you can be able to finish it. To give you what to be studying every day until you finish the syllabus. Wonderful, wonderful application, all right? And apart from all of that, there's also the mock challenge, all right? We have the JAMB mock challenge, you have the WAEC mock challenge. Every Saturday we test you. We test you to see how prepared you are, all right? Apart from testing you, you win amazing prizes, and you get it to JAMB past questions or the WAEC past questions, JAMB likely exam questions or WAEC likely exam questions. You also get used to understand how examiners ask questions, okay, what they are possibly reasoning in their head before they set questions for you, okay? All of these tricks and tips, okay, are all on the application, all right? So please ensure you jump on the app. Activation fee is less than the price of rice and chicken in a good restaurant. If you go to a good restaurant and say, madam, give me rice and chicken, okay, the price is far less than that. So please ensure you activate your app, all right? Rice and chicken is what you go and eat now. You go to toilet, it is finished, okay? But of course, whatever value that is in you, all right? Whatever you have studied, value that's in you, okay? It cannot be thrown away like that. So please ensure you activate your app. Message this number on WhatsApp to activate your app, all right? If you need the app for computer system, also message this number on WhatsApp, 09121515246. All right, with that being said, let us go to chemical coordination, all right? We'll begin with chemical coordination in humans, and then we round up with plants. Okay, so now we have discussed the nervous system, all right? And we have seen a lot about what the nervous system and what can do, all right? But after discussing nervous system, why is it now very important again for us to now be talking about chemical coordination, all right? We have seen what the nervous system can do. It helps us to memorize, helps to regulate voluntary actions, everything. Why do we still need another complete system for what? For chemical control again. Okay. Now it is important to what? To know that chemical coordination is carried out by a different system altogether called the endocrine system. Endocrine what? System, all right? Chemical coordination is carried out by a whole system altogether, a different system altogether, known as what now? Endocrine system, okay? So for nervous control, we say that what? They use what? Electrical signaling, okay? But for endocrine or hormonal control, we say that what? They use what now? They use chemical or signaling, all right? So endocrine system is a system that is dedicated, all right, to what? To chemical coordination. But why do we still need what? The endocrine system? We see that what? That the nervous system helps us in what? In understanding. Helps us in understanding. It helps to what? To coordinate our day-to-day what? Activities and surroundings. Okay, that's what the nervous system helps to do. Helps to coordinate our day-to-day understanding and what our day-to-day surrounding, our day-to-day activities. Okay, but despite all of this, we still need what? A system dedicated for what? For chemical coordination. For nervous coordination, as soon as an impulse is sent, okay, once you send an impulse, okay, immediately you see that what? Action is what? Is carried out. All right, so immediately you send what? An impulse. When it comes to the nervous system, immediately action is carried out. But in some cases, it takes what? A longer time. It takes a longer time and what? An effort. Okay? In some cases, it takes what? A longer time, what? An effort for this what? To be carried out. For example, like growth. Something like what? Like growth. For example, growth. Growth is something that what? That happens what? Daily. That happens daily. So the brain cannot be sending what? Signals for what? For growth every day, every day, every day, every day. Okay? So because growth is a what? It's a constant, but what? But slow process. Okay, growth is a constant but very slow process. All right, so the brain cannot just be what? Sending signals, sending impulse every day, sending signal for what? For growth, for growth, for growth. That is why we need what? A different system. Okay, that would be in charge of what? Things like this in the what? In the body. For slower processes. For slower processes, okay, animals would have what? A different system that is called what? This endocrine what? System that helps to what? To coordinate what? Those kind of what? Activities. Therefore, slower processes like what? Like growth, like metabolism, okay, have what? A separate what? System because they are slower. They are a slower process, all right? It's not something that happens just instantly, okay? So because they are slower process, a full system is dedicated for those kind of slow processes, and it is what? The endocrine system. And how does the endocrine system do this? Endocrine system secrete what? Chemical substances that are known as what? As hormones. Okay, endocrine system secrete chemical. There are chemical substances, okay, that are what? Known as what? As hormone. But now, what are what? Hormones? Okay, so let's quickly see what hormones are. All right, before we continue, all right, please endeavor to what? To support us. Okay, support your mates also that are preparing for this exam. Many people are not aware that this channel exists. For a fact, many people are not aware that it exists. In fact, some students get to know of this channel like 1 week to the exam, 1 month to the exam. And they'll now say, where have you been since? Okay, and it's because of you. You'll be a bad person. Okay, please support us, support them by just liking this video alone. All right, it will make it to be recommended to them so that they can easily be aware. All right, so please, as you're watching this video now, that hand that does like this, just click on the like button. Okay, also subscribe to the channel. Subscription to this channel is free. You are not paying to subscribe to this channel. Okay, it's for you to get notification whenever a new video is released. Okay, don't you want to be kept informed? Okay, please endeavor to just hit that like button. Also, copy the link of this video. Wherever you're watching from, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, copy the link, share it to your WhatsApp group, share it to your friends, share it to your loved ones, even your junior ones who will be preparing for this exam. Share it to them. Let them all be prepared for the examination. All right. Please do this and see, and you will see that the Lord is good and God will bless you. All right. Please. So some people are saying, for my family, they help people. Okay, may they fail. Please don't be like that, all right. Please don't be like that. So what are what now? Hormones. Hormones are chemical substances synthesized by specialized glands. Okay, these specialized glands are called endocrine glands. All right. For example, endocrine glands, which are transported by the blood to the target sites or organs, either target sites or organs where they control growth, Okay, it could be growth, it could be metabolism, it could even be reproduction, and other functions. Okay, so these are what we call hormones. We say hormones, they are chemical substances, all right, synthesized by specialized glands. Okay, for example, endocrine glands, which are transported by the blood to the target site or organ where they control growth, these are slow processes where they control growth, control metabolism, control reproduction, and other functions. Okay, these are what we call hormones. All right, please let me go over that again. Hormones are chemical substances synthesized by specialized glands. Example, endocrine glands, which are transported by the blood to the target site or organ where they control growth, metabolism, reproduction, and other functions. Okay, so as you can see very well, these are slow processes, and it is the endocrine system that secrete these hormones, okay, that now help to control each of these slow processes. Also, it is important to know that glands are of two types. Glands are of two types. Okay, one, we have the one we call the endocrine glands. Okay, then number two, we have the one that we call the exocrine glands. Okay, so now what is different between these endocrine glands and these exocrine glands? Endocrine glands are those glands that pour their secretion. All this one, they pour their secretions directly into the blood. Okay, they are called endocrine glands. Okay, endocrine glands are glands that pour their secretions directly into the bloodstream, while exocrine glands are those glands that will pour their own secretion. Okay, exocrine, they'll pour their own secretion into a duct or a tube. Okay, it is from this duct or tube that these secretions are now transported, okay, to the target site, or target cell or organ. Okay, so that's what happens in exocrine. So for endocrine glands, they pour their secretion directly into the bloodstream. Okay, while for exocrine, okay, they pour their secretions into a tube or a duct. And it is from this tube or duct that the secretions are now transported, okay, to the target cell, all right, or to the target site. All right, so that is different between endocrine glands and exocrine glands. Please ensure you take note of this. It's very, very important. If it were not so, I would have told you. Okay, now let us now go to endocrine glands. So there are the types of endocrine glands that we have. Number one, we have pituitary gland. Okay, the types, let's see the types of endocrine glands. Types of endocrine glands. We have pituitary, we have thyroid, we have pancreas. Okay, let's see. We have adrenal. We have so types of what? Of endocrine glands. This is very important. Number one, we have what we call the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland. Okay. Also, we have the thyroid gland. Number two. Thyroid gland. All right. Number three, we have the adrenal gland. Okay, this adrenal, this N. All right. This is adrenal or gland. Also have pancreas. Number four, we have what? Pancreas. We have what? Testis also. Testis. Then number six, we have the ovary. Okay, these are the types of what? Of endocrine glands that we have. All right, you must make sure that you take note of all of them. All right, I'm going to tell you the uses of all of them. We're going to discuss them one after the other. All right, so we're going to begin with the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is called the master gland. The master gland. Take note of that. It's even in your past question. Okay, which of the following is usually referred to as the master gland? All right, let us look at the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland. Okay, and we'll say that what that the pituitary gland, okay, is also called the master gland. Okay, and the pituitary gland is a small pea-shaped organ that is found at the base of the brain. Okay, it's a small pea-shaped organ that is found at the what? Found at the base of the brain. Okay, it is a small pea shape, like pea. Okay, shaped like a pea, but it is found at the base of the brain. Take note of this location. Okay, for the pituitary gland, it is called the master gland. This one is an exam question. This one is also an exam question. It's a small pea-shaped organ found at the base of the brain. Okay, and like I said, it is called the master gland. But why is it called the master gland? It's called the master gland because it produces other hormones that now what tells other hormones what to do. That's why they call it the master. And be organ. Okay, it produces what? Other hormones that tells other hormones what to do. That means what? It produces what? Hormones that now coordinate the functioning of what? Of other what? Hormones. And that is why we call it the master. Okay, it produces other hormones that control and coordinate the functioning of all other types of what? Of hormones. And examples of what? Of this hormone, the pituitary gland, there are many. Okay, we have the one we call the anterior pituitary hormones. They also have the posterior pituitary hormones. You must know all of them. They are very, very important. Know all of them, know their uses. Okay, so number one, note that also that what the pituitary gland also what produces what? The growth hormone. Okay, it produces the growth hormone. Okay, so let us see examples of what? A pituitary gland. Number one, we have the growth hormone, which I spoke about. Growth hormone. All right, that by growth hormone means that what? It stimulates growth and repair of tissues. Okay, that is what the growth hormone is. Stimulates growth and repair of tissues. All right, that is what the growth hormone is. A type of what? Of pituitary what? It's a type of what? Hormone that is secreted by what? By the pituitary gland. Okay, growth hormone. Then we have the thyroid stimulating hormone. Okay, number two, we have the thyroid stimulating hormone. Okay, this one is called TSH. Okay, TSH. And what does the thyroid stimulating hormone do? Okay, its own function is to activate the thyroid gland. Okay, it activates, okay, the thyroid gland. Okay, that is the function of the thyroid stimulating hormone. It activates the thyroid gland. Then we also have the adrenocorticotropic hormone. Okay, we have number three, adrenocorticotropic adrenocorticotropic hormone. Okay, this one is the one we call the ACTH. ACTH, okay? This one stimulates the adrenal cortex, okay? It stimulates the adrenal cortex, okay? That's the adrenocorticotropic hormone. Adrenocorticotropic hormone. It stimulates the adrenal cortex, okay? As you can see from the board. Then also we have what the prolactin. Number 4, we have what the prolactin. Okay, this one is called what ROL. Okay, this one helps what in milk production. Okay, helps in what? In milk production. All right, so take note of that prolactin. Okay, PROL. It helps in what? In milk production. Then also we have what the follicle stimulating hormone. Okay, number 5, the follicle stimulating hormone. Okay, this one helps what? In egg or sperm production. Helps in egg, EGG, or sperm production. Okay, that is what the follicle stimulating hormone. It is known as what? As the FSH. FSH for short, okay? The follicle stimulating what hormone. It helps in what? In egg or sperm production. Then also we have the luteinizing hormone, okay? Number 6, luteinizing hormone. Okay, this one triggers ovulation and testosterone production. All right, so these are all types of what? Of pituitary gland. All right, the main role of the pituitary gland is to produce what? Hormones that are what? That will control what? The functioning of all other what? Hormones. Okay, so number 1, the growth hormone, which will help to stimulate growth and repair of what? Of tissues. Number 2, the thyroid stimulating hormone known as TSH. It activates what? The thyroid gland. The adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, stimulates what? The adrenal cortex. The prolactin, PRL, helps what? In milk production, called what? Of course, PRL. Then we have the follicle stimulating hormone, which is what? The FSH, which helps in egg or sperm production. Then we have the luteinizing hormone, which triggers ovulation, and testosterone what? Production. Okay, all of these, all right, they are all types of what? Of pituitary gland, or rather the hormones that pituitary gland was secretes. Okay, so all these are examples of hormones that the pituitary gland secretes. Okay, sorry to say, they are examples of hormones that are secreted by the pituitary gland. Now let us go to the thyroid gland. Okay, to the thyroid gland. So please ensure you like this video. Please like the video, download the O3 Schools app now, okay, and start immediately. You have nothing to lose, okay? You have nothing to lose, but you have everything to gain when you have the application and you are following our lessons, all right? You will see all of these things that we just named on the board, everything. You see all of them in your past questions. So we do not give you what you do not need, all right? We give you everything. Sometimes JAMB will set questions out of the syllabus for you because they want to test how widely read you are. That's why you need what? Comprehensive lessons like this, okay? So let us look at what? The thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. Now, the thyroid gland, on the other hand, is a butterfly-shaped organ, okay? Or butterfly-shaped gland, right? It is butterfly-shaped, okay? Butterfly-shaped gland, okay, but this time it is not found in the neck, in the brain region. It is found in the what? In the neck region. Okay, we say the pituitary gland is found at the base of the brain, but this one is found at the what? At the neck region. Put that down, right? So it's an exam question. Okay, so the thyroid gland is a butterfly-shaped gland that is what? Found at the neck region. Okay, it produces mainly thyroxine, and another hormone that is called calcitonin. calcitonin, okay? It produces mainly thyroxine and another hormone that is known as calcitonin. Thyroxine is responsible for regulating the body's metabolic rate. This thyroxine is responsible for regulating the body's metabolic rate. It is responsible for brain development, as well as what? Bone maintenance. Okay, so that's what the function of what? Of the thyroxine. Okay, it is responsible for regulating the body's metabolic rate, responsible for brain development, as well as bone maintenance. While the calcitonin is responsible for maintaining the calcium levels, okay, in our body, responsible for regulating calcium level, calcitonin, okay, calcium levels. All right, that is the function of what? Of the calcitonin, okay, which is the other hormone that is what? Produced by the thyroid gland. Okay, it is responsible for maintaining the calcium level, okay, in the body. Now, but for thyroxine to be produced, okay, for this thyroxine to be produced in the body, okay, we need what? We need what? Iodine, okay? We need iodine. Iodine is very important for thyroxine production. And if there's not enough iodine in the body, okay, it means that this thyroxine will not be produced, or less thyroxine will be produced, okay? And then it leads to a condition that is known as what? As simple goiter. Okay, you have seen people that have swelling around their neck region here. Okay, you see one big thing around their neck region. Okay, that is called what? Simple goiter. It is a condition that comes as a result of what? Of less thyroxine production, okay, by the thyroid gland, less thyroxine production, or absence of what? Of iodine, okay. So that's what causes what? Simple goiter. And what happens is that the thyroid gland, okay, will enlarge, okay, and now cause what? That swelling that you see, okay. So that is all about what the thyroid gland is, a butterfly-shaped gland that is found or located in the neck region. Secrete mainly thyroxine and another hormone called the calcitonin. The thyroxine, like we said, is responsible for regulating the body's metabolic rate, helps in brain development, also bone maintenance. Okay, while the calcitonin, like I said, is responsible for what? For maintaining calcium levels in the body. Okay, so I will say that what? For thyroxine to be produced, we need what? Iodine. Okay, and if there's no iodine in the body, okay, or less thyroxine is produced, it leads to a condition that is known as simple goiter, where the thyroid gland will enlarge and then cause swelling in the neck region. Okay, so that is all about what? The thyroid gland. So now we go to the adrenal gland. Okay, we go to the adrenal gland. We have heard about adrenaline before, isn't it? So now let us talk about the adrenal gland. Adrenal gland. Okay, now the adrenal gland, okay, produces what? An hormone that is known as what? The adrenaline. Adrenaline, all right, the one you are used to. Okay, you have told that when you are scared, when you are in danger, okay, which hormone is produced? Adrenaline. All right, so that is what? The adrenal gland. It produces what? The hormone called what? The adrenaline. Okay, and the adrenal gland is not located in the brain, it's not located in the neck. Okay, it is located on top of the kidney. Okay, you find the adrenal gland on top of the kidney. Okay, and this what? Adrenal glands are called what? Adrenaline rather is called the stress hormone. Okay, it's also called stress hormone. Stress hormone. Other times you can call it the emergency hormone. Okay, so we can call what? Adrenaline the stress hormone, or what? The emergency hormone. But please take note that emergency doesn't always mean that you are in danger. Yes, as some of you get it very, very wrong. Okay, whenever you just hear adrenaline, okay, it's when you are in danger. Maybe a dog is pursuing you, or you woke up and you saw rat, or you woke up and you saw cockroach. For the ladies, so you start scratching anywhere, we are running away. Okay, that's when adrenaline is secreted. No, okay, danger, emergency does not always mean that what you are in danger. That's the point I'm trying to stress. Okay, sometimes when you are feeling excited, excited, okay, or at other times when you are feeling very anxious, this adrenaline is secreted by what? By the adrenal gland. It doesn't have to be only when you are in danger. Okay, when you are feeling excited, when you are feeling very anxious, adrenaline is what? Is secreted. So when you are in these conditions, either in emergency condition, whether you are feeling excited or you are feeling very anxious, what happens is that what? Large amounts of adrenaline, large amount of what? Of adrenaline is what? Is produced. Okay, because this large amount of adrenaline is produced, it means that what? Your heart rate, okay, you see that your heart will not be pouncing, okay? So your heart rate will increase, first of all. Heart rate will what? Will increase. All right, some of you, your mind don't fly. If you just see dog like this, you don't scatter, you don't run. Okay, your heart will be beating fast. Okay, so your heart rate will increase, and because your heart rate is increasing, it therefore correspond to the fact that more oxygen, okay, will reach different parts of the body. It means that blood will circulate faster. It will improve blood circulation, and then oxygen will get to different parts of the body. And aside from that, also more glucose will be produced, okay, in the body. Okay, so please take note of that. More glucose will also get produced. Okay, so that is what the adrenal gland. Okay, we say it secretes produces the adrenaline. All right, and of course it is found on top of the kidney. And the adrenaline is also called the stress hormone or the emergency hormone. And I explained that emergency does not always mean that you are in danger. So sometimes when you are feeling excited or feeling very anxious, this adrenaline is secreted, and because of that, large amount of adrenaline is secreted. As because it's a large amount is secreted, your heart rate will increase, and because your heart rate is increasing, it will improve blood circulation. Okay, and also it will make sure that more oxygen is released, thereby making oxygen to get to different part of the body, and as well as also more glucose will be produced. All right, so that is the adrenal gland. So now let us now go to the pancreas. To the pancreas. Please like this video, support us. So like it now. Don't say later. Copy the link now. Go and share it. Come back, continue. All right, the phone will not run. Please. Okay, so now we have the pancreas. Now, the pancreas also produces hormones. Okay, I will call the pancreas a mixed gland. Okay, and why do we call the pancreas a mixed gland? The reason why we call it a mixed gland is because it is both an endocrine gland, and it is also an exocrine gland. Okay, hence the reason why we call the pancreas a mixed gland. The pancreas produces insulin. Insulin and glycogen. Okay, so it is produces insulin. Pancreas produces insulin as well as and glycogen. This insulin that you see here is secreted when there is more amount of blood sugar. Okay, it is secreted when there's more amount of blood sugar, that is glucose. That is glucose in the bloodstream. All right, this insulin is what is secreted when there's more amount of what, of blood sugar. By blood sugar, we mean what, glucose, okay, in the what, in the bloodstream. That is when what, insulin is what, is produced. And this insulin helps with the uptake of what, of glucose. It helps with the uptake of glucose, okay? It helps what, the cells, okay, to take up what, glucose, okay, from the what, from the body. It helps the cell to take up what, glucose from the body. That is, it regulates. It helps to what, to regulate the level of what, of glucose. Okay, so that is what the function of what, of the insulin there. Okay, so it is produced when what, there's more blood sugar, that is what, glucose in what, in the bloodstream, and it also helps the cells to take up what, glucose. Okay, it regulates what, the level of glucose, okay, in the what, in the body. That is what, the insulin. And also when there's excess glucose in the body, when there's excess, when you now have excess glucose in the body, what it does is that what, it converts this excess glucose, okay, to what, to glycogen. All right, it converts this excess glucose that is found in the body to glycogen, and then it stores it to what, in the liver. All right, take note of that. So it's the insulin also helps to what, to convert excess glucose in the body to what, to glycogen, and then it stores it in the liver. And also there are times that what, that our blood sugar is what, is very, very low. Okay, and what will the body now do at that point? What it does is that this excess glucose that has been converted to what, to glycogen, okay, will be converted back to glucose, okay, by what, by glucagon. All right, glucagon will convert what, this excess what, glucose that already been what, converted to what, to glycogen. It will convert the glycogen back to what, to glucose. This is what helps to what, to do. This is the enzyme that assists in what, in converting the excess glucose that has been stored as glycogen back to what, to glucose, so that the body can utilize it. Okay, so that the body can what, can utilize it. Now sometimes due to what, some reasons, okay, enough insulin is not produced in the body. Okay, due to some reasons, enough insulin is not produced in the body. I already know that what, that insulin has to regulate the level of sugar. It also helps what, with the uptake of what, of glucose. Okay, now if enough insulin is not what, produced in the body, it means that what, the cells will not be able to what, to take up what, glucose. Okay, so from what, from the blood. So definitely what will happen is that what, now it will lead to a condition that is known as what, diabetes. Okay, because the glucose, there's what, there's blood sugar, okay, but what, the cells cannot take it up. All right, so it leads to a condition that is known as what, as diabetes. So diabetes is a condition whereby what, the cells are unable to take up what, glucose, okay? And as a result, there's increase in blood sugar. Okay, there's increase in what, in blood sugar. Okay, diabetes is a condition where what, the body is not producing what, enough insulin. Okay, so what, the glucose cannot be what, be taken up by the cell. All right, thereby leading to what, to increase in what, in blood sugar. That is what causes what, diabetes. So most times people with this condition, they take what we call insulin shots. Insulin what, shot, okay, to increase the what, the insulin that is what, present what, in their body. Okay, so they take insulin shot to correct what, this condition. So therefore we have the one we call type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes. Okay, this one is when what, when the body cannot produce what, enough insulin, either due to what, to genetic condition. Okay, so maybe it's what is present in the gene. Okay, genetic condition, the body is unable to produce what, insulin. Okay, so that is what leads to what, to type 1 diabetes. We also have what we call what, type 2 diabetes. Okay, type 2 diabetes is different from type 1 diabetes. Okay, you have type 2 diabetes. All right, we say that for type 1 diabetes, it's because what the body is not was producing enough insulin, basically due to what? To genetic condition, isn't it? Now, for type 2 diabetes, okay, it's due to what? To diet. It's due to diet. You are consuming so much that what that has what enough glucose, that has sugar in it. Okay, taking so much carbs. Okay, so now you have taken so much carbs. There's now so much sugar in your what? In your blood. Okay, so there's not enough sugar in your blood. You have insulin. No, it's not saying you don't have insulin. No, you have it, but the insulin, in fact, your cells are tired self. They cannot take more sugar again. There's so much sugar in your bloodstream that what? Even your cells are tired of taking more sugar. They are tired of taking what? Glucose, okay, from the bloodstream. So for that reason alone, it now lead to what? A condition that's known as what? Type 2 what? Diabetes, okay? So the insulin may be present, okay? It's present, but the cells are already tired of what? Of taking sugar, because there's so much what? Sugar in what? In your blood what? In your bloodstream, okay? So if you have so much blood sugar, the insulin is present, and the cells are not taking as much, okay? Or they are tired of even taking self. So it leads to what? Type 2 what? Diabetes. So in this case, for type 2 diabetes, you take what? Insulin injection. Insulin injection, okay? Please understand that's quite all right. Now, that's the difference between type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. Now, let us now go to what? To testis. You know, the testis is what? It's a sex organ, okay? The testis is it's a sex organ, all right? So please ensure you download the O3 Schools app, all right? It has everything you need to succeed, okay? You don't even need past question, you don't need textbook. The app is all you need. These tutorials with the app, you are a 300 candidate already. Okay, so let us see the testes. Now, the testis is a sex organ. Say it's a sex organ, okay? And it is the sex organ in what? In males, all right? The sex organ in males, all right? And basically, the testis, okay, it produces male sex hormones, all right? The testis produces male sex hormones. These male sex hormones are known as testosterone. All right, they produce what? Male sex hormones, all right? And these male sex hormones are what we call testosterone, all right? And of course, they are present in the what? In the scrotal sac. Okay, when we talked about the human reproductive system, okay, we saw what the testes, they are present in what? In the scrotal sac. And what are the function, okay, of what? Of the testosterone? To what? To produce what? Sperm, okay? Produce sperm. Helps in what? In the development of what? Of sperm, as well as what? Secondary sexual characters. Okay. Also helps in what? In development of secondary sexual characters. Okay. So that is what the testis. Okay. It is what? The sex organ found in males. Okay. And of course, it produces what? It has what? Male sex hormones. What I call what? The testosterone. Okay. Produces the male sex hormones called the testosterone, all right? And the testosterone is found what? In the scrotal sac, and it helps in what? In the development of what? Of sperm, as well as what? Secondary sexual characters. Now let us quickly see the ovary, all right? The ovary, which is on the opposite side of what? Of the testis. Not by that. I don't mean that the opposite side. I mean that. Now in females, okay, we find what? The ovary, the male's testis, okay? So now the ovary, we know that the ovary is the female reproductive organ, okay? The ovary is the female reproductive organ, all right? But this ovary regulates what? The production of what we call what? Estrogen and progesterone, all right? It regulates the production of what? Of estrogen and progesterone, okay? That is what the ovary, okay? It regulates the production of estrogen and progesterone. Now, what is the function of what? Of the estrogen? Estrogen is responsible for ovulation. This one responsible for ovulation. Okay, it is responsible for what? For ovulation, which is called what? The release of what? Of egg. The release of egg. Okay, it is what? Responsible for ovulation. That is the release of what? Of egg. While the progesterone, on the other hand, is called what? The pregnancy hormone. It is called pregnancy hormone. Okay, and why is it called the pregnancy hormone? It is called the pregnancy hormone because it helps to what now? Retain what? Fertilized egg. It helps in the retention of fertilized eggs. Okay, so that is what the progesterone. The estrogen is responsible for ovulation, that is release of what? Of the egg. While what? The progesterone, which is called what? The pregnancy hormone, okay, helps in what? In the retention of what? Of fertilized what? Egg. Okay, remember when I was talking about pituitary gland, I said what? We have what? We have anterior pituitary hormones, okay, that are secreted by the pituitary gland. We also have posterior pituitary hormones that are secreted by what? By the posterior what? That are secreted by what? By the pituitary gland. Okay, we have anterior, which are the ones we saw first. I forgot to talk about the posterior. So I'm going to talk about the posterior pituitary what? Hormones now. Number one is oxytocin. Oxytocin. Let's quickly look at that. Oxytocin. Okay, so this is what? This is another. This is an example of what? Of the posterior. Okay, posterior pituitary what? Hormone. And the oxytocin, okay, is what? Is an hormone. Okay, it's a pituitary what? Hormone. Okay, that is what's released when what? A person is about to give birth. Okay, during birth. During birth. Okay, this oxytocin helps what? In the contraction. It helps in the contraction and relaxation of the uterine wall. Which now what? Allows birth to happen. Okay, so that is what the oxytocin, all right? It is what? It's a pituitary what? Hormone, okay? That is what? Released when what? When childbirth is about what? To happen, okay? So what it does basically is to help in the contraction and relaxation of what? Of the uterine wall, okay? Which now allows what? Birth to happen. All right, so another one is what? We have the antidiuretic hormone. Okay, we also have the prolactin. We'll talk about prolactin anyway. So we have what? The antidiuretic hormone. All right, we have antidiuretic hormone. Okay, this antidiuretic hormone is called what? ADH, and it regulates the production of urine. Okay, it helps to what? To regulate the production of urine, and also water. It also helps to what? To retain what? Water. Okay, and what? Water retention. Okay, it helps what? To regulate the production of urine and what? And water retention. Like I told you in the one of the previous episodes, I said that ADH is also known as what? As vasopression. Okay, and of course, if it is absent, it means that what? You will die of dehydration. Okay, so it helps what? For water retention. It regulates the production of urine as well as what? Water retention. It's also called vasopression. Now let's quickly talk about what? Plant hormones, so that we can close what? This class. Okay, we have really spent a lot of time, so let's quickly see plant hormones. Now, plants do not have what? Nervous system. Okay, plants do not have nervous system. Okay, they no get. Plants do not have endocrine system. Okay, they do not have what? Endocrine system. Okay, but the only thing we know about plants. So, but okay, since we know they don't have nervous, they don't have endocrine, how do they now carry out what coordination. Okay, so how do they carry out coordination? The only thing we know about plants is that what, that they respond to what, to stimulus. Okay, we know that one very, very well, that they respond to what, to stimulus. But however, they also have, apart from responding to stimulus, they also have what, hormones that are known as what, phytohormones. Phytohormones. Okay, they also have what, hormones what called phytohormones that helps in what, in coordination. All right, and what are these phytohormones? Phytohormones are chemical messengers. I'm getting tired. That control growth, development, and responses to the environment. Okay, so those are what, phytohormones. They are chemical messengers that control growth, development, and responses to the what, to the environment. Okay, so those are what, the ones we call what, the plant hormones. So plant hormones are what we call phytohormones. That is one of the best things you take away from here. Plant hormones are known as what, phytohormones. They are chemical messengers that control growth, development, and responses to the environment. Okay, let us now see some of those hormones. All right, we have about 5 of them. Number one, we have what we call the auxins. All right, gibberellins. We also have cytokinins. Okay, cytokinins also have abscisic acid. All right, they also have what, ethylene. Okay, all of these, they are what? They are plant hormones that we have, all right? So we have what? Auxins, we have gibberellins, we have cytokinins, we have what? Abscisic what? Acid, then we have what? Ethylene. They are what? Examples of what? Of phytohormones. They are plant hormones, okay? Chemical messengers that control growth, development, and responses to the what? To the environment. Okay, so now let us look at the first one, the auxin. Let us please see the functions of the auxins, okay? Function of the auxins. Number one is to what? To stimulate cell elongation. We're looking at what auxins first. So let me just take this off because of space. All right, so auxins, number one. All right, the function, number one is what? To stimulate cell elongation. Okay, that is number one function of what? Of the auxin, to stimulate cell elongation. Also, they help what? In root initiation. Okay, they help in root initiation, and then also they also assist in what? In phototropism. Okay, that is what? Bending what? Towards what? Light. Okay, bending towards light. Okay, so these are the functions of what? Of the auxins. They help what? To stimulate cell elongation. They help in what? In root initiation, as well as what? In phototropism, that is bending what? Towards what? Light. Now, number two, let us see the gibberellins. Okay, and these gibberellins also, they also assist to what? To stimulate what? Cell elongation. So number one, they also stimulate cell elongation. But they assist in what? In seed germination. Okay, gibberellins assist in seed germination. So number two, they assist rather in seed germination. Then number three, they help in what? In flowering. Okay, so take note of that. So for auxins, stimulation, elongation, root initiation. For the tropism, that is bending towards light. Gibberellins, stimulation, cell elongation. Helps in seed germination, and also what? In what? In flowering. Then number three, let's look at cytokinins. Cytokinins. Number one, promote cell division. Okay, cytokinins help in what? In promoting cell division. Then number two, they help to delay leaf senescence. Okay, this leaf senescence is a natural aging process. Natural aging process which eventually leads to what? To the death, okay, of what? Of the leaves, okay? So they help to what? To delay what? This process. They help to delay it, okay? And also the cytokines, they work with what? With auxins, all right? To regulate growth, okay? So they work with what? Number 3, all right? Cytokines, they work with auxins to what? To regulate growth. Okay, so together with what? Auxin, they help what? In growth regulation. Okay, so these are what? The functions of what? Of the cytokinins. Okay, so let us go upward because of space. Then also let us now see abscisic acid and their functions. Okay, number 4 now, that will be number 4. Abscisic acid. All right, and what's the function of what? Of this abscisic acid? Number 1, one of the functions is to inhibit growth. Inhibit growth, okay? Number 1, inhibit growth, okay? So it does not promote growth, okay? It inhibits what? Growth, right? That's number 1. Number 2, also, it induces dormancies. Induces dormancy. All right? It induces what? Dormancy. While number 3, it helps plants to cope with water stress by closing stomata. Okay, so the abscisic acid, they help plant to cope with water stress by closing what? Their stomata. All right, so number 1, they inhibit growth. They induce what? Dormancy, and what? Help plants to cope with water stress by closing stomata. Now, that now leaves us what? With ethylene. We know that ethylene is used for fruit ripening. Okay, it assists in what? In fruit ripening. Ethylene, fruit ripening. So ethylene, which is the last one. Okay, so this one promotes fruit ripening. Okay, also it helps in what? In leaf abscission. All right, so that's what ethylene promotes. Fruit ripening also helps in what? In leaf abscission, and helps it what? To respond to mechanical stress. Okay, it helps what? To respond to what? To mechanical stress. So that's the function of what? Of the ethylene. All right, so we have seen what? The plant hormones, the auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins. I've seen the abscisic acid and the ethylene. Now we now have to what? Don't go to the O3 Schools app, answer question to build our confidence. Now, after this class, now you discover that most of the questions we're going to see, they will be very, very easy. So most of them will be assignment for you. All right, I'm only going to display a few of them. You want to find the remaining ones from the application, answer them, and give me the answers in the comment section. All of them, I'm going to answer them and give me in the comment section because they are becoming very easy. Now, 2004, number 29. Number 29 says, if a nursing mother is not producing enough milk, okay, it means that our hormonal system is properly deficient in what? Okay, A says prolactin, B says testosterone, C says thyroxine, D says insulin. Okay, we'll talk about what? The hormone for milk production, that will promote milk production. So if the mother is not producing enough milk, it therefore means that our hormonal system is properly deficient in, you know the answer. Tell me in the comment section. Okay. Now, 1998, number 15 says, regulation of blood sugar level takes place in where? A say pancreas, B say ileum, C say liver, D say kidney. All right. So tell me the correct answer in the comment section. We dealt with that seriously. Also, we have 1997, number 30. It says that the substance that is responsible for optical dominance in plants is known as, A says gibberellin, B says tannin, C says auxin, D says kinin. All right, tell me the correct answer in the comment section. Now, 2022, number 9. All right, it says, which of the following is not a plant hormone? A says auxins, B says gibberellins, C says abscisic acid, D says pituitary gland. So tell me the correct answer in the comment section. Also, we have 2017, number 38. Okay, they say, which of the following describes the function of thyroid? A say it is the gland of emergency. B say it regulates the rate of metabolism. C say it controls the production of ACTH. D says stimulate the liver to produce glycogen. Tell me the correct answer in the comment section. Now, you go and find these questions yourself on the app. You answer them and tell me the answers in the comment section. Number 1, we have 2007, number 17. Then number 2, we have 2006, number 14. Number 3, we have 2018, number 39. Then number 4, we have 2007, number 22. This 2007, number 22, say they're giving a diagram. They say use the diagram to answer this question. They say the function of the structure labeled 1 is to A says stimulate the development of secondary sexual characters. B say prepare the body for any emergency. C say maintain proper glucose concentration in the blood. D say regulate the activities of other endocrine glands. If you see the location of one, you will see that it is in the head, and that means it is in the brain. So they're talking about a gland there. Which gland is found in what? In the brain. Okay, we'll talk about a gland that is found at the base of the brain. All right, so we're going to what? Reference to that and tell me the answer in the comment section. Also, 2007, the same year, the same diagram, number 21. They said, use the diagram to answer the question. Insulin is produced by the endocrine gland labeled, where is the insulin produced? Okay, what will produce the insulin? From there, you know the location, so you'll be able to answer the question. A says IV, B says III, C says II, D says I. All right, now let us see 2002. Also, 2002, number 43. Okay, look for it and answer it. Okay, so these are many more questions that are on the application. You need to find all of them, answer all of them, and you see how good you have become, right? So my name remains Master T. I'll see you in the next class as we enter a new topic called what? Ecology. All right, I would love to see you there. Have an interesting day.